The hosts of bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Well, that's how the episode's going to begin. So what?
That's his New Year's resolution. Be more aggressive.
It's New Year's. It's New Year's
Happy
Day.
New Year's, fellas.
Happy New Year's.
2025.
2025.
What are y'all's resolutions? Did y'all ever do resolutions? Like, I was never a big resolutions person.
By do them, do you mean like make them or follow through with them?
Yeah.
Both,
different.
probably.
Yeah. Made plenty.
Yeah, exactly. I've made plenty. The one that I actually... There's been a few that I've stuck to, like years and years ago when I was... this was before I was in OJT in Christiansburg. I got up to like 250 pounds, and I made a New Year's resolution to not be that fat. So they had a gym in that call center, and I had a couple of buddies that we like to work out there after work. And I ended up cutting down to like 200 pounds, which was, really good for me because I'm big boned. But clearly, as y'all have met me several years after that, that was not a New Year's resolution that I kept to. I just kept it for a few years. And then I also made a New Year's resolution to quit smoking cigarettes. And I have not smoked a cigarette in like 7 years. So, there's that. Maybe 6.
I mean, you do smell better now.
Thanks, buddy.
There's still this weird underlying rhubarb thing with you, but otherwise...
That's my deodorant. I just take rhubarb sticks and rub them on the old pits and,
First of all, that sounds incredibly painful. I've seen rhubarb.
Very tart fruit to be rubbing in a very sensitive area.
Look, my armpits are just all callous now.
It's just callus and rhubarb juice.
And so it stopped the sweat because I literally rubbed off the sweat glands.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Scott? Have you ever actually like...
I mean, I not only can I tell you that I've made them that and not kept to them, I don't think I even remember any of them. Like they were. It's such a cliche, trivial thing that I'm sure I participated in the idea of making them, but like to be able to recall any of them at this point, I mean, I don't know. I hope none of them were promises to my wife, because if she hears this, she's gonna be pissed because she'll remember. But yeah, I don't know that I really recall any. It's just, never that meaningful for me.
You don't remember the pact we made 5 years ago?
Oh, God. You might have to refresh my memory. I'll still hold true to it, clearly.
Also, never mind.
If I made a decision bad enough of making a pact with you, I mean...
There was a lot of booze involved, so...
So Dan doesn't remember it, is what he's saying.
Matt, how about you? How do you fall on the resolution train?
I never really got super into the resolutions, because it always comes down to, I mean, when I was younger, I don't know, like it would be gaining weight because I was a very skinny kid. And then as I got older, it would be about losing weight. Like, and that's just never, I was never a good accountability partner for myself.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure all of mine kind of revolved the same way and had very similar outcomes. I mean,
yeah, I'm just way more worried about disappointing others than I am about disappointing myself. If I let myself down, that's fine. I'll be okay the next day. But if I let somebody else down, ooh, that's scary.
I mean, Yeah, if I was supposed to go to the gym and I accidentally took a nap instead, I'm still pretty happy because I had a nap, you know?
Right? Exactly. Still got something out of it. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to make some New Year's resolutions? I mean, it
I
is.
was thinking about that. Should we make a bracketology New Year's resolution?
Now, wait, is this a resolution for the podcast or is this our own individual?
Well, as Matt said, he is a terrible accountability partner to himself. And I felt that in my core because every time I've wanted to do something like that, like, lose weight, get in shape, quit smoking, I have needed somebody else to drag my ass to the goal, right? Because if left to my own devices, I'm going to eat cheeseburgers and smoke cigarettes and, do all the things that you're not supposed to do. So
How long
I'm
have you and
thinking
Kristen been together again?
7
About
years.
7 years? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Continue.
That checks
Uh,
out.
so I'm thinking we make a joint resolution so that way we can hold each other accountable.
But this is a resolution for the podcast, something the podcast is going to achieve in 2025.
Well, I mean, synonymous with us, something that
Okay.
we are going to achieve as a unified podcast cohort.
Okay, I think I've got a couple options. So one I have, I think, for all of us, like individually, and then one I have for the podcast.
Okay.
Okay. So I would like, realistically, I would like to get down to a fitter version of Matt. You know what I mean? And I know that both of you would also like to get down to a fitter version of Matt, but I'm not going to allow that. So you got to get down to a fitter version of you.
Okay.
But
if we
I
get
say,
down to a fitter versions of ourselves, does that
Can
mean...
we reconsider
it's a possibility.
the first part? Okay.
Look,
all right.
we'll visit that again if and when that bridge falls.
Look, if it's on the table and there's a chance I can get you on the table, then I'm in.
However, I suggest that we turn it into a competition. This is not a new thing by any means, but maybe we set a goal for ourselves individually, either from a weight or from like a percentage lost.
Oh, you want to calculate BMI?
Well, we could do that, or we just do like this is how much weight I want to lose, and then percentage of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at some point we do some check-ins throughout the year.
Is it like a race to see who can get to it first, or is it like a...
I think it's mixture, right? So there's a race aspect, who can get to it first, but then also who can keep it there by the next year.
Who's like closest to that goal?
Hold on.
Right.
Caveat question here. If I have to, in the next year, lop off one of my bum-ass feet, does that weight loss count? That's a solid, like,
whatever,
2 pounds, 2-3 pounds.
Whatever, what's the right word for it? Whatever. Hold on, not that. What?
Augmentations?
No, yeah. Well, I mean that, but like replacement feet. Like what would? Why can I not think of this word? Like a replacement
prosthetic.
Prosthetic. Thank you. I don't know what was happening. You have to weigh with your prosthetic. So if you get a metal skeleton foot, that might hurt you.
Or
and that
unless
is the
it's
third coolest.
Titanium,
Do they make prosthetic feet like foot weight to make it feel more familiar?
I don't know. None of us have any prosthetics.
I have to think they would. I've never thought of that before. It would make sense that they would, right? We have the technology. It's 2025 now.
We have the technology. However, my secondary suggestion for a resolution for us is that we do an episode at some point this year when we feel like a more fit version of us, where we do full body cameras.
Oh God!
Oh, you want to do like OnlyFans bracketology?
No, hold on. We're gonna have
Only
clothes
Dan's.
on.
Yeah, only dance.
We've made that joke so many times.
Is this
So
how
good.
we're gonna start our Patreon? Is
I mean,
You gotta pay
maybe.
extra to get the full body camera view.
Yeah.
We'll have 2 cameras, one just zoomed on our faces, one for the full body. We'll be in suits or something. Maybe from the waist down, we'll be in suits but we'll have like the apron on and we'll be vacuuming, just real eye candy. Right, perfect for our demographic.
I mean, the other option is that we do some form of live show where we're all together and just our whole ass bodies are on a camera.
I
for
like
that.
the idea of in 2025, Bracketology does an all together live episode. I like that idea. I'm gonna say I'm gonna set a high goal in 2025. Bracketology will have a guest star with some level of notoriety. I'm not saying a lot, but some level of notoriety.
All right.
I don't know how we're going to accomplish that, but now I'm starting to build a plan.
Okay. I mean,
We'll
reach
settle
out to
for,
prisons too.
We'll settle for like whatever's the equivalent of the Haktua girl, but from like 2006 to
No,
2000.
let's get
like,
Luigi on.
Whoa, hold on now. We
can interview him.
I don't know. I feel like his lawyer is going to work out a better deal for him than being on our. That might be too much notoriety.
Oh,
look,
okay.
we could have him guest star in a bracket of top 32 CEOs.
Look, we're going to get to the end of next year or the end of the year, and we get to this episode again next year. We're going to revisit this, and we're going to realize we didn't achieve it. And I'm just going to end up having to buy a cameo of some like Smallville actor from back in the day.
As long as it's not Allison Mack, I think we're okay. Although hers might be cheapest.
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
All right. I think that's a good one. Dan, what's your for the pod?
Crap.
You were relying entirely on us.
He wasn't planning ahead on that one.
So I like the idea of having a notable guest, but realistically,
you could just also say that one, and then we could work together on it because I don't know how to achieve it.
I mean, so I might be able to put together something to get something.
There's no way you're going to achieve what you're thinking. You know what?
You don't even know what I'm thinking.
I'm going to make a personal resolution. I'm going to be more positive. Dan, you follow that dream.
Okay.
Well, hold on. There's a difference between being positive and sarcastically pushing someone forward.
No, that wasn't being sarcastic. I think I know.
Like there was a little sarcasm.
I think I know what you're aiming for, Dan, and I want you to aim for the moon.
I do not think you know what I'm aiming, like what my goal is or aiming for. I'm just saying.
Is it Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Oh, that would be so rad.
That would be super cool. Or Hank Green. I'd be cool with talking with Hank Green.
Bill Nye, like
for sure.
That would be rad too.
Again, way too much notoriety for our podcast. I think you're aiming too high up. We're talking like maybe I was gonna say the kid who was the pizza delivery boy on that one episode of The Office, but I think he's actually like kind of famous now. I think he's gone on to other roles, but it'd have to be someone like that.
He was on The Office. He's already more famous than what we should be shooting for.
I'm saying, like, again, he was a pizza delivery boy in one episode. Like that's probably the top of our achievable goals. We need to start there and work down.
Yeah, somebody that was meme famous from like 2006.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I thought you said mean famous. Like
I thought he said mean for a second as well.
Mean.
Yeah, no, I got what you said now. It just was hard to understand.
All right, yeah. So that's I was gonna say like get our listeners up to
I mean, no, that's a good.
Digits.
That's a good goal. I'd love to hit 3 digits.
Yeah.
Are we at that on subscribers? I don't even know.
No.
Yeah. So that's a great one. That's a good realistic one that we should be more focused on. A subscriber goal in the 3 digits would be great.
Yeah.
Listeners, you can help with that.
Yeah. Like and subscribe, share, follow.
That's why we have 39 right now.
Force your family to listen.
Actually, force them to subscribe. There we go.
And then subscribe. Yeah.
They don't even have to listen that much. Just make them subscribe.
Perfect. Create fake accounts. Subscribe with those.
All right. So those are our New Year's resolutions, gentlemen. Let's track it down, officially plot them, and hold each other accountable.
I want to know more
Because-
about those weight loss contests. We'll have to discuss that in the future.
Yeah, we'll discuss
Engagement.
that offline.
We need some stakes on this. Possibly steaks.
Yeah, like literal steaks,
Yeah.
filet mignon.
It's always better when you explain the joke. Thank you, Dan. Hello and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively decides all things. I am a smart fella, Scott Grubb.
Trying to jump the line. I am the resolution you will not keep, Matt Robinson.
And I am 2025 Guys and Fries. Ah, damn it. I messed it up.
Ow.
Oh, well. Damn
And you forgot to say your name.
Starting this year out with the bang.
So the resolution is I'm going to do better for myself. And then you're going to find Matt and then you're going to make a dumb decision. Don't make the dumb decision. Anyway, welcome to another very special episode of Bracketology. Once again, this week we have decided to ditch the usual format because this episode, fellas, Happy New Year, comes out right on New Year's Day. So,
Happily newest year.
yes. So what are we doing instead this week?
Well, I think that we discussed a few different things. We talked about somehow doing a New Year's related bracket, and then that's why we decided not to go forward with it. And I think this is our prediction show. I think this is what is going to happen in 2025. Like, how long is Scott going to keep those things on his face?
First prediction. These are going to be removed within, 17 minutes of you listening to this episode.
Yeah. Those did look like the eye holes were just slightly off.
It was, man, it throwing my vision off. My eyes kept focusing and it was weird and I couldn't see my notes and your faces were obstructed and then they started to cut into my ears and it just wasn't worth having them anymore. You got the joke. Oh, one more thing. All right, there we go. We got that out of the way.
So sad.
Try not to be too loud with it.
Just one like melancholy note.
Look, we've lived through a number of New Year's at this point. They haven't gotten much more exciting, you know?
Yeah.
So there we go. Reflective. Anyway, yes, this week we have a special episode where we have compiled for you predictions. Individually, we have not discussed or shared these with each other. We have made some predictions of what is going to happen in 2025. I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with and talking these through. Does anyone have one that they're particularly excited about and want to start with?
I mean, I'll throw mine out there. So the fact, maybe we should talk more because I kind of forgot that this was going to be a prediction show until about an hour and a half ago. And then I was like, what could I predict? And so I came up with one thing, but others might come to me as we discuss. But I figure if I get mine out there, that might allow my brain to percolate. My prediction for 2025 is local. Very local. It's about Dan. So I predict that Dan...
Bold start.
Dan will have a different number of tattoos by the end of the year.
Oh. I can... That would be a tough prediction to come true.
Here's the thing,
my friend.
It's less a prediction and more a spoiler. You just don't know how it's going to happen.
I like this.
It's
I like this plan.
Involve a trank dart and both of you fucks to carry.
Waking
my
up in
dead
Guatemala.
weight.
I was going to say, Matt,
my kidney's gone, but I've got a new tattoo.
If there's anything specific in this vision that might require two people to see it through, you just give me a call, buddy. You just let me know.
Yeah. I got you on the speed dial.
Yeah, I'm happy to help out anytime. Dan, how do you feel about that prediction?
Uncomfortable. Look, I did not have a good time when I got my only tattoo that I have now. that is not a process that I want to repeat.
Yeah, but with enough Maker's Mark, you won't know anyway.
Yeah, but legally they can't give you. Well, I say
What?
that, but the first tattoo I got, I was hammered.
What
They
makes you think we would go to an establishment that gives a shit about the legality?
So not only am I getting a tattoo, I'm also getting hepatitis. This sounds amazing.
Well, look, here, I mean, not necessarily, right? Just because they're not reputable or have a license doesn't mean that they don't take care of their place of business. But remember, the wording of this is that you will have a different number of tattoos by the end of the year.
So you guys are going to pay for laser removal.
Potential. Look,
I've
just
seen
saying,
your tattoo.
that's my
I think you could easily be convinced into laser removal.
Yeah.
I think you could find. Costco is going to come out with a laser removal bundle, and you're going to buy it.
Oh, first in line, bro. And then the added
So that's-
benefit is that Kristen gets to torture me while removing my unsightly tattoo.
Kirkland's signature laser tattoo removal. It'd be a new service. 2025 prediction. Costco is going to start to offer laser removal surgeries. They're going to take one of the bays for the tire change center, and they're going to wall it up, and they're going to turn it into tattoo laser removal. Or laser
They
tattoo
still just
removal.
keep the car lift though, so you just have to lay on that.
For the bigger customers, right? You know.
Exactly. All right, Matt. I like that one. I like that one.
Thanks. I'll try to come up with more as we go.
Well, I mean, we got like 3 out of that one, if we're being honest. So it was a good start. All right. I'm gonna. I just have to say, when we post this episode, I'm gonna make sure we should keep our notes. I want to post the picture of mine because they are absolute nonsense on paper, and anyone who were to see these would think I'm a crazy person. Okay, mine's a little. I don't want to do the dark one.
Yeah, let's maybe keep it light to start.
All right. I'm going to say that in 2025, it will be revealed that Pastor Bob Joyce is actually Elvis Presley.
Right? Googling.
Who the fuck is Bob Joyce?
So there's this guy in Arkansas. He's an ordained minister and musician at Household of Faith Church in Benton, Arkansas. Oh my gosh, I was there last year and did not know that this guy was there. I would have gone to see him. So he is a pastor in Benton, Arkansas, and there is a conspiracy theory that this man is Elvis Presley. And I'm not one to typically buy into conspiracy theories, and I'm saying this with, again, as our opening would post, a grain of salt. But I've seen videos of this man, and I've seen videos of him singing, and I've seen these videos that talk about Elvis having a near-death experience from all the drugs and everything, and wanting to turn his life around and abandon entertainment because he knew that he wouldn't be able to turn his life around as he was in it. So he faked his death and he went into the sticking with religion and the clergy, and that this is Pastor Bob Joyce is Elvis. And I think ultimately it's likely a crock of shit, but man, crazy things keep happening. And if we found out in 2025 this is actually Elvis, I would have been the first one to claim it to be true to happen in 2025. So that is my prediction.
I mean, I do have to say he does have a striking resemblance.
He does
to Elvis in some way that could be helped with the fluffy white beard. I also like that I Googled Pastor Bob Joyce, and in the AI overview that comes now on the top of at the top of Google pages, the last one says claims of being Elvis. In 2018, a video of Joyce was shared online, and some fans claimed that he was Elvis Presley. And then, period. Joyce confirmed that he is not Elvis Presley.
That's all you need to know right now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, 2025,
down.
we're going to find out otherwise. And listeners, take a moment. Just listen to the guy sing. That it's uncanny.
I mean, the only thing is that he seems like a somewhat famous pastor, and if he was like
Trying to avoid the spotlight.
But I think
Yeah.
that's happened because of the spot. Like, I think his fame is gradually growing as more and more people talk about him on their podcast. Not that he's going to gain any fame from this one, but like other more popular podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever. I think the notoriety came after the realization that he looks and sounds like Elvis.
Huh. There is a resemblance for sure. Like that exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Dan,
All right.
what do you think is going to happen in 2025?
So I'll kick us off with my bracketology prediction.
Oh, you made a prediction about the podcast?
I did make a
I
prediction.
did too.
podcast.
I'm interested. Okay.
All right. So bracketology officially gets our first sponsor, and it is Hims or Cialis, one of the two.
I don't think that Cialis advertises on podcasts. Hims, though, is constantly being advertised.
Blue Chew advertise. Yeah. Well, Hims or Blue Chew.
Yeah, and Blue Chew would match our color scheme. So
there we go.
You know what? I do think that is a somewhat likely possibility.
If we hit the resolution of getting three digits into subscribers.
So here's the thing. In case you are thinking about starting a podcast on your own, there is an option to monetize on different platforms. However, there are very specific minimum requirements that we have not hit.
Not even close. So again, take this opportunity, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, encourage them to like and subscribe. All it takes is a click and it helps so much. That turned into an ad.
I would absolutely love that. Let's get to the point where we can have a sponsor. Dan will do Hims and Blue Chew on the air live.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to read copy about cock pills. Okay. I also had a podcast themed one. Well, Matt, are you good? Or would you like some more time?
Come up with one real quick. So podcast themed,
podcast specific. Sure.
Look, when we started this, I threw out I created the logo and we kind of landed on some colors, and then I did throw out alternative colors.
Just like the pronunciation of alternative.
Yeah,
alternative.
I threw out some alternative colors, and they were rejected. But it made sense, right? We want to make sure that our branding makes sense. I think in 2025, I convince you all to do at least one episode with alternate colors.
Alternative colors.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get Dan on board for that one after he just had the recent revelation that our colors are, in fact, the Tennessee Titans colors.
Yeah.
And then I'm a big fan of that.
Not exactly the same, to be fair. They are slightly different from a legal perspective.
Sure. The very, very similar concept of dark blue, light blue, but not the same. Like the hex codes are definitely different.
Yeah, don't sue us.
I think they actually are different because I didn't legitimately pull them off the logo, but I got done mocking up what I wanted, and I was like, oh, it's blue on blue. Maybe they'll see that, and you didn't. Okay, I like it. I like the idea. I'm not opposed to it. If we find a color scheme that makes sense for something, I'm good. I don't think you guys are going to like mine.
Are we getting dark now? Or wait, this is the podcast. Okay.
This is the podcast one. 2 of the 3 co-hosts of Bracketology will create their own spin-off podcast.
Oh.
I do not predict which 2 it will be, but I can tell you that if we all sit here for a moment and think about it, we can predict how the third one will react to the other 2.
It is the Joyce Byers Fan Club podcast.
I know. I see. If we started the Joyce Byers fan cast, we would still want you on it because your salt factor really balances out the sweetness that Joyce Byers brings to my TV screen every opportunity that she gets.
Yeah.
When's the last time you turned on Stranger Things?
I mean, I watched Beetlejuice earlier today. Does that count?
That's not Joyce Byers. That's Winona
It
Ryder.
is.
But when
Winona Ryder.
when I see her, she's in my heart.
That's a fucking lie. That's a blatant ass lie. All right. I don't think that that's too crazy, too unheard of. I think the problem is that I'm the only one with excessive free time. So kind of hard to make a podcast of one person, right? And I don't have friends that are celebrities, so I can't just make my own, guest show.
Maybe it'll tie in. We'll have a celebrity guest. You'll actually hit it off and become friends with them. Boom, second podcast.
All right.
All right. Do we have another non-podcast related, just general?
Yeah.
Dan, you got a dark one? Let's get dark.
You want to go to the dark ones?
I don't know if this counts as dark. Well, I guess technically it could be. So my prediction for 2025 is that JD Vance starts appearing aggressively more and more tan until like at the end of the year, he looks like Ross from that episode of Friends where he gets like quadruple spray tanned. That will happen as a progression throughout 2025.
Okay. All right. So I'm imagining, is this a natural tan or like
No.
Definitely not?
No.
So like, what do you think is the situation that leads to this outcome?
I think it's a pissing contest between, president and vice president who can get
be more
tan.
orange.
Yeah, or
See,
tan.
I was thinking of it as like the president has no such little respect and regard for his vice president that the only time he'll meet and talk with him is during tan time.
During tan sessions.
So Vance also has to put on a Speedo and join the tan session. Otherwise, like he can't get word in edgewise.
Yeah. I mean, that might, or it might just involve, a couch that has tanning lotion.
It's
and
just
water.
been recently tanned.
Yeah.
It's just been, the leather has been recently treated.
Yeah.
And he motorboated the hell out of the cushions.
Exactly. And he just lays down and has fun with the couch. And it's one way or another, I don't know how it's going to happen, but he will aggressively become more and more tan.
Do you think that he will do just face like the Trump?
No.
Or is it
going to be
he's going full body?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly,
he doesn't lay on couches with his shirt on, dog.
You're not wrong.
So that was, I guess it was dark and then darker and then gradually darker still.
Yeah.
And then just, but all right. I have a kind of dark one.
Okay.
If we're ready.
I'm as ready as I can be.
I predict, I feel like every year we have some kind of devastating celebrity death of the year.
No, I already don't like this.
I predict that in 2025 it will be Chuck Norris. He's 84 years old.
You shut your whore mouth.
I think that people will have that same reaction. They'll have a very nostalgic driven, upset reaction about the death of Walker, Texas Ranger. And then after just mere moments of research, it will be revealed that he was actually a piece of shit human being. And then nobody will care anymore.
Okay. I mean, that was
shots
slightly
fired
dark.
at Chuck Norris. Guys, the celebrity guests we're going to have by the end of the year, not going to be Chuck Norris.
I think the biggest thing, though, is that while he is 84 years old, that man is still in incredible shape. Like,
that's going to be the devastating part of it, is that it's going to be so surprising. Everyone's going to think, but he was in such good shape. I was like, yeah, but his heart still could explode. You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't drank in like 40 plus years. I don't think he ever got into the drugs like the Bruce Lee or, some of the other people from the, I don't know. I'm just assuming that Bruce Lee got into drugs in some way.
Jeez.
But I know that Chuck Norris lived a fairly clean life, both, in eating and other things. So that would be surprising. That definitely.
Yeah. That dude is 84 years old on his fucking Bowflex, working out.
Is he still on his Bowflex these days?
In his
Do you
Thigh
think
Master.
those commercials? I don't even want to tell you how old those commercials are, Dan. I'll see your face wrinkle right before me.
I do think, though, yeah, I do think that makes sense. Who do you think's going to die, Dan?
So
let's all make a devastating celebrity death of the year prediction.
Yeah, nobody's going to like mine.
Go for it.
Snoop Dogg.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Look, I just think that he has lived a hard life. He has done so much rebranding. Like, think about, it's 1994, right? There is the big East Coast versus West Coast battle going on. If anybody would have told anyone at that point that Snoop Dogg was going to have multiple cookbooks, be a host at the Olympics, have affirmations for children on YouTube. Well, you'd have to explain what YouTube was to somebody at that time. But anyway, if you told them that at that time, nobody would have believed you. So his rebrand has been complete. But I think all the years of tetrahydrocannabinol abuse catch up to him, and I think he, does the Crip Walk one last time.
Does anything say I used to be a pothead more than saying tetra, whatever the fuck you just said? Tetra. Yeah, okay. Just give yourself away.
I think, man, that would be devastating because I love Snoop Dogg. Like,
yeah, me too.
So I just saw a video of him singing with Sting, not the wrestler, but the musician.
Hold on. What percentage of people do you think assumed you meant the pro wrestler? Because you're the only person I talk with about pro wrestling on any kind of regular basis, and I definitely thought the singer. I appreciate. You know what? Sorry. No, hold on. Resolution. Be more positive. I appreciate your clarification, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to be helpful. Anyway, it was really, really good. Like, it was really cool. And just like hearing Snoop Dogg rap and then like actually sing a melody, with Sting, it was just super dope. So if you haven't seen that, look it up. But man, that would be devastating.
Yeah.
So all right, I have questions. Are you predicting this as a natural causes type situation, or are you saying?
Yeah, it'll be natural cause.
Oh, you're making me sad.
Related.
I know.
You're making me sad with that one.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
do you know how old Snoop Dogg is?
I don't. I don't think he's 84 though.
No,
he's not quite 84.
But he's also not as in good shape as Chuck Norris is. But he is 53.
I hope he donates his lungs to science.
Or at least a dispensary, because
Oh my God, could you imagine having that, just like having those flayed open, encased in resin hanging up on the wall? Some cartel member in Mexico is going to have that within 2 years of Snoop being dead. That's dark too. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's a little dark.
Matt, who do you think is going to be our devastating celebrity death of the year 2025? This is not the bit I anticipated starting.
Joyce Byers is his choice.
No, I do think so. I'm sitting here thinking through,
he slips further into madness.
Ignoring all of this,
as you should.
I'm sitting here thinking of celebrities as y'all are talking about this, and I'm going through a few different people, and my mind kind of goes to Drew Carey or people like that. But I don't think he's going to pass away. I hope not. I do think, and this is also one that I hope doesn't happen, but I think it would be incredibly devastating. Al Roker.
Ooh, dang.
Dude, and he looks
He's had some health issues
Yeah.
in the past few years, and some serious ones too.
He has looked pretty rough.
Dang. Okay. You know what? I'd like to apologize to our listeners for starting this bit, because this one's been like, these are hurting my feelings, you know?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't
Well,
know.
let's take it back into the light territory here.
Yeah. I got a
Scott,
light
what do you got next? Oh, Dan, you got one?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, I feel like I need to redeem this after. Okay, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Dan. I've done the damage. Clean up my mess.
So clearly, you guys know me as a fashion-forward individual.
I've definitely used those words to describe you.
You put fashion forward in the toilet.
So my 2025 fashion prediction is that Jinkos will make a roaring comeback.
Yeah, you're a year late for that, buddy.
What?
I
Jinkos
definitely
are
saw
huge
somebody in
right
Jinkos today at Walmart.
Yeah, but that was at Walmart. Jinkos never left Walmart.
You know what? Fair point.
Jinkos never left Walmart. No, I mean, that is something, though. Like, baggy jeans and Jinkos specifically have made a comeback this year from a fashion
but I'm
perspective.
talking like the comically baggy jeans. Like Jinkos, like comically baggy.
I mean, you can buy Jinkos right now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying they will be fashionable.
You're saying they're going to have a solid comeback. They'll be in high schools and colleges all over the country.
Yes.
Note that I didn't say anywhere that we would be, because I recognize that we would not be the cool people wearing them.
Hey, I'm just glad skinny jeans are gone, bro.
I never qualified for this.
Yeah.
August 17th, 2024, Jinko jeans have been revived by Gen Z. They're back and literally bigger than ever. This is an article on High Snobity.
Oh, that sounds reputable.
Okay, so here's the question. Are we more surprised that Dan didn't know Jinkos were back, or that Dan went out on a limb to write this prediction and didn't consider whether or not he should check it out first?
Yeah. Well, I just thought that Jinkos were so absurd.
They are and were.
Sure.
Yeah.
But look, the kids do what the kids do.
Yeah.
That's true.
Did you
I don't really know what that means.
Nope.
Gentlemen, did you own a pair of Jinkos?
I never owned a pair of Jinkos, mainly because my mother would have killed me before she gave me a pair of Jinkos. I did, however, get lots of carpenter-style jeans that were just oversized by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely
because this thing's got to last.
Yeah. I definitely did the baggy trend for quite a while.
We couldn't afford Jinkos, so I had the Magic Mark
Jinkos?
version of Jinkos.
What was it called?
Fuck if I know. I can't remember.
Orange. Just backwards.
just another.
I was never a Jinko kid.
I do think, not to get too weird here, but I do think it's because of like overly baggy jeans that I stopped wearing regular boxer shorts, because man, boxer shorts bunch up so much when you're wearing jeans that you have to pull up all the time. And I think that's what made it so I go commando at all times.
Yeah.
Can't wait for people at my work to listen to this episode.
In 2025, I predict using the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind technology to erase that information from my memory. All right.
From your memory?
Matt, are you prepared? You got one? Did you come up with something? Put you on the spot? Would you like me to go?
Here's a prediction.
Okay.
I made this prediction years ago. Patrick Mahomes will not be a starting quarterback in the NFL in 2025.
At all?
Well, in the 2025 season. He will finish next year as a non-starting quarterback in the NFL.
So injury.
Either injured, retires, or finally comes to his senses and is a terrible quarterback and gets benched.
Yeah, something tells me that one of those possibilities is not quite as likely.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way he plays, I mean, look in 2024, you got the high ankle, that this whole season. I could see him getting a little too aggressive, a little too excited, and giving himself a good old boo boo.
I just have a feeling. So I made this as a bet with my friend a couple years ago, and I've still got a couple years on it. However, I'm not wishing injury on him. I'm just wishing that he's out of the NFL.
Mm.
But why? Just the life as a Broncos fan? Is that difficult?
I mean, that's definitely part of it, but he's also just I don't know. I don't
You
like
don't like his Kermit the Frog voice?
I definitely don't like that. But I also that was the closest thing I'm going to get to.
You went out on a limb on that one too, huh?
Yeah.
Tried.
Though, again, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
I appreciate you putting yourself out there for the sake of the podcast.
Solid try.
Yeah. I also, his family's just not good people, and
No, that's fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
Just want him
Well,
out of the
it's
league.
really just his brother is kind of a
Yeah.
poopy human.
Wife's not
his
exactly the
wife's
best
got
person
some
either.
opinions too
Oh, okay.
that aren't necessary. It's okay that as a woman she has opinions. That's not what I mean. It's that hers in particular are a bit problematic.
At least for us,
Just to
as
clarify
individuals.
my stance there. I support women's opinions as long as they fucking keep them to themselves.
Whoa.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was just there. Okay. All right. So we're coming up on an episode here. Do we want to try and get one more? Get like a whole round in?
I got one.
Dan's anxious golden retriever energy to go first, which checks out.
So here's my prediction. Blue Sky in 2025 will officially rename itself to Twitter. And after a court battle, it wins because Elon Musk gave up the name. So Blue Sky becomes Twitter, gets tweets, gets all of that, like,
He doesn't own the naming rights to that anymore. Somebody's got to own that name.
I'm saying Elon Musk just gave it. That in my prediction, Elon Musk just gave it away. It is now open for use. Blue Sky comes in and claims it, and all those people that accidentally still say Twitter when they mean X.
So somebody's just going to screw up and forget to renew the rights to the name Twitter.
Or it's already been screwed up and Blue Sky is going to pounce. But that's my prediction.
All right.
And I want that to happen so fucking bad.
I mean, what Matt's researching. What are you finding there, Matt? Producer Matt.
Don't
in the
poop
booth
on my parade, Matt.
Actually, this doesn't poop on your parade at all. The Twitter trademark is known and protected around the world. Elon Musk's decision to rebrand Twitter as X, abandoning a globally recognized and protected trademark, is unprecedented. We know that.
Probably
there's
for good
no
reason,
way to
clearly.
globally register a trademark, so a significant international strategy will have to be enacted. There's a 100% probability that Twitter X will be sued. When was this article made? I don't know. They do have it trademarked, including tweet, retweet, subtweet, TweetDeck, and TweetStorm. Apparently, those are all trademarked by them. But this was an article this is GerbenLaw.com. This is a law website. I don't know. I think it's a possibility. I honestly, look, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I want to be front row.
Yeah.
Through all of that.
Matt, do you have another one?
I mean, not yet. Like, you go, and then I'll see if I can.
All right. I've got 4 left here, and I can't decide which one to go with. So give me a number. Which one should I go with?
2.
Number 2. Okay. I predict that in 2025, Pat McAfee will host the most renowned episode of Saturday Night Live for that season.
for that season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he will.
That's
He
fair.
will host the episode of season 51 of Saturday Night Live. It'll be the one that everyone talks about afterwards. It'll be great. It'll be beckoning a revival of Saturday Night Live. Maybe not that great, but it'll be a good one.
All right, plus or minus 4. How many former or current NFL players appear on that episode?
Ooh, well, you got to go 3.5, right? Because if
Peyton
you go
Manning's
4, then it's an
definitely
even.
going to be there. And if Peyton Manning's going to be on there, then Eli would probably be on there.
I mean, does he have much of a relationship with the Mannings, though?
I don't know.
Wasn't he the kicker when Peyton Manning was in Indianapolis?
Yeah, but
he was a punter, first of all.
Well, what do punters do?
Punt.
Probably not hang out with quarterbacks.
Yeah, but it was Pat McAfee.
Unless their name's Aaron Rodgers.
I would take the over on that, though. At 3.5, I would take the over.
Yeah, I feel like I probably set those odds too low, to be honest.
Well, do you want to reevaluate? Do you want to go up to 4.5? Make 4 the. I mean, at 4.5,
Vegas
I would
has been called.
No, look, it changes things because I think at 4.5, I take the under. I think 4 is the right number.
Interesting.
I think that's where your line is. Just my bet.
I mean, at the very least, you've got what's his name, AJ Hawk. You've got Aaron Rodgers. Plus, he'd probably get like a Tyreek Hill or something. Yeah, I mean, maybe 4.5 is the right odd. The right odds.
Yeah, I just think the energy that he's got during like college game day, and then the jokes he can crack in WWE and on his podcast and all that, like he feels like a natural fit for it. Plus, with the growth of everything that he's been doing, and with WWE and their partnership with, well, I guess that's ending though with them going to Netflix.
Netflix now.
Dang, they missed their opportunity while it was on Peacock.
Although he is being pulled back in as a full-time employee at WWE, so it is still a likelihood just because you get an NFL
promotion. Yeah, you get NFL tie-in, you get ESPN tie-in, period, and you get WWE tie-in with him. He's a gold mine for cross promotion when it comes to Saturday Night Live, and he's got the energy and the personality for it.
Who's the last WWE person to host? Was The Rock the last one to
Probably
host?
The Rock. Like it. Well, no, John Cena has to have hosted. Yeah, I know he has. So yeah, Cena's probably the most recent wrestler because I don't think. I know Roman Reigns hasn't done it. I don't know who else would be at that level since Cena.
There's an actual All right, so there have only been 3. That's insane.
Hold on. Let me see. It was. I want to see if I can get him. Triple H, The Rock, and John Cena.
No, you've got two. You've got 2 of them, right? The Rock and John Cena.
It's not Triple H.
Who was the third then?
I thought Triple H hosted at some point.
I thought he did too. Maybe he was just in the. I know he was in the monologue, in The Rock's monologue. Triple H and I think the Big Show were sitting in the crowd heckling him. Who was? Did Mankind host? Oh, no, Mankind was part of that opening too. That monologue.
This doesn't make sense. I need new sources. This says wrestler related appearances: March 18th, 2000, The Rock, but also the Big Show. But it doesn't list Triple H at all. I thought that was hosted. So it looks like The Rock and John Cena are the only ones.
Hulk Hogan never hosted an SNL? That's surprising.
Just not going to. I'm not. The Rock was the most recent one, 2015. All right. I think that's a good prediction, though. I think that's likely. It's a likely possibility.
See it. Bonus points. Can we predict who the musical guest will be for the Pat McAfee episode?
Motionless in White.
I'm sorry, what?
Motionless in White.
Motionless in White. Okay. Dan, would you like
kind of rock metal bands?
Dan, would you like to make a prediction at Pat McAfee's musical guest?
Limp Bizkit.
Possibility.
I mean, that is a band. Yes, Dan, good job. I'm gonna say that with Pat McAfee, they're gonna bring on. I'm gonna go with Selena Gomez.
I'm gonna change mine to Sting, the wrestler.
He'll come out with the big guitar from the Great American Bash back in the day. I like it. All right.
My final prediction. So I was gonna go with one, but I think it's too likely, and that was gonna be that aliens show themselves. So I'm gonna go with. I think in 2025, somebody, whether it's NASA or another country or just Elon Musk slipping and tweeting something, somebody discovers another habitable planet.
You see some of those pictures coming off the James Webb Telescope?
Man,
It's insane.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
but they haven't been able to validate what, the atmosphere and stuff like that. I think that they truly have or find or announce a habitable planet that we could get to.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
yeah.
get to.
I don't know about get to.
Yeah, would be a stretch.
Well, my stretch goal is that at least 3 people shoot off on a mission to attend or get to that place.
I don't know about that, but
they would have to figure out some sort of like cryogenic like sleep to perfection, because the nearest star, in order for there to be a habitable planet, it would have to orbit a star from what they call an astrological unit.
Like science based.
I'm just saying.
We've always done everything scientifically. We've discussed this before. But I agree with you. I think finding a potentially habitable planet, like something that's within that life, that there, what is it called? Like the life zone, where that's X many number of miles versus X number of many miles you can be away from the sun, and it would still produce
an astronomical unit.
I don't think
what.
Anyway,
why did you just sound so sad saying it's called an astronomical unit?
I think we could certainly find planets in that, and then like find evidence of water or whatever. With that particular telescope, it's insane the things that it can accomplish, and like the amount of stuff it's seeing, and the scale and scope of it. And then you realize that I saw something about this the other day, that to put it in perspective, when you look up at the night sky with your bare eye, hold a grain of rice at arm's distance away from you, and that's the amount of space in the night sky that telescope is looking at.
Oh yeah,
and it's coming back with galaxies, and it's just insane, like multitudes of galaxies.
So the nearest star to us is Proxima Centauri, and that star is like 4.2, 4.3 light years away. That is a forever distance, and that's just the closest star, right? We, through these telescopes, can observe galaxies that are hundreds of light years away.
I don't know why Dan's harping on it to make it an argument. I'm telling you, I think you're right that we're going to find a habitable planet.
We could definitely find like a habitable planet.
My resolution is not only to keep myself positive, but to reel Dan back in too.
There is no way that we would be able to get some.
Dan,
I'm gonna eat poo-poo.
End it on a positive note. Matt is probably right. And
yes,
I also think you're right that we're going to find out for sure aliens are real. I mean, we'd be doing a disservice if we left this podcast episode and didn't say that.
I think we've already learned that aliens are real, right? Realistically, no one has officially come out and said it, but the fucking 400 just random orbs floating above New Jersey right now kind of speak to that fact.
Well, that was one of my predictions, is that they just don't understand what the fuck the Jersey Shore is. So that's what all of those drones have been trying to figure out.
Mine was at South Park. On South Park, they'll do an episode revealing that Kyle's mom's New Jersey background is actually just the aliens, and that Snooki is the original alien leader, and that's where that's what the drones were from. Yeah. Anyway,
they're coming to get Snooki back.
That's it. Anyway, as we've mentioned throughout this episode, if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, let us know. We obviously we have the format bracketology in place, which we are going to jump back into next week. I'd love to tell you what we're going to start with, but to be honest with you, I don't know. So we're going to figure that out. We got a new bracket starting next week. Did we discuss it yet? And I forget.
Nope.
Okay, good. We're all on the same page then. So tune in next week for a surprise bracket. And
for all of us.
Yeah. But if you liked this more open flowing format, whatever feedback you've got, we love to hear it. It's on all the socials at Bracketology, BRACKETALLOGY, all the socials, asterisks except for X. Yeah. Thanks for Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music for the track you hear at the beginning and end of every episode. Thanks to Matt for always being such a phenomenal editor as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And then, you know what? Thank you guys for bringing bracketology to life in 2024. And I'm excited for 2025 with it.
Yeah.
What are we going to do for our year anniversary?
Look, we got some time to figure it out, but not a lot. It's coming up.
Yeah.
We got to get on it.
Maybe that's where our special celebrity guest is. I'm going to buy a cameo of Conan O'Brien wishing us well on our podcast. And then he's probably going to berate us about how we'll never get close to his popularity and subscribers. And he's right, but it will be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
anyway, that's an episode of a podcast. I have been a fart smeller. Oh, fuck. Scott Grubb.
Did you just...
No, that was... Oh, Jesus, Dan. I have been a resolution you won't keep, Matt Robinson.
And I've been a fart supplier, Dan Default.